Hello, I'm Jacob.
I'm Jude.
And today we'll be discussing Dragon Ball
Z.
with you. We're on episode 83.
Yep.
And this is the episode where Frieza's final form is first revealed.
Shit. It does start though.
Yeah.
With Gohan fighting him as third form to protect Piccolo from just dying.
And he almost beats Frieza in like one of his ki blasts, which is a little bit weird.
I don't think I think it's more like he just hurts it. I think it's like he hurts it. I don't think he beats him though. I think it's more like he just damages him. But even that, I don't think it actually. I think it's more like almost a distraction. Like he just can't stop the attack, but also the attack doesn't really hurt him that much. Obviously, he does
the
this.
same thing. Deja vu. Last form, Gohan attacks the Frieza. He wins for a second.
Yeah.
And it's like these forms should just have a little more durability. I feel like they should be able to win for an episode or two.
Vegeta has Krillin beat him up in hopes of getting stronger because he's like, beat me up, get me close to death, then they can heal me. But then, unfortunately, then they refuses to heal him because he's like, you killed my people. And like Vegeta forgets that he's just a jerk who's done horrible things.
And then when he heals him, he gets kicked by Vegeta, which is a great touch by Vegeta.
I mean, he's just not a nice guy at this point. Frieza is going to his final form doing this though.
Yeah, let's talk about Frieza's final form a little bit. Because, I mean, it's very iconic, but like, having watched everything along the way, what do we think about this one?
I mean, it's hard because like even they comment on it, it's not his most intimidating form, but it is the sleekest form. It's by far the sleekest form. Like,
I totally disagree. I think it is the most intimidating.
Oh, wow.
And I think some of it's the way it's revealed, but it's like something you're not supposed to see. It's something no one else has ever seen.
He's naked,
Okay, that's true. But you know, in the second form, he's like, you know, only my father or something beat me up enough that I had to transform to this. This is a form that no one's had the privilege to see, which means you're probably going to die for seeing it. And while every other form is adding stuff on top of it, right? It's getting more, the head's getting larger and there's more spikes and more this and whatever. This final form removes all of it.
Yep.
And it's
no gimmicks, just a warrior as final form.
Yeah.
For now.
The sleekness is intimidating to me. It's like Terminator, machine, cold, robotic.
But he's smaller though. I got back anyway.
That's what Toriyama likes to do. He has like the biggest, baddest, whatever thing, and then transforms into something like Boo or whatever. It doesn't look intimidating, but there's something unsettling about how it could transform into something so deceiving.
And then because of this, Piccolo is ready to run. Like Piccolo is like, let's get out of here. And Frieza, before anyone can even make a move, puts his finger up, blast. Who's it gonna hit? Who is it gonna? Dende. The one person no one thought, because he was the most valuable MVP of this fight so far, because he can just keep healing people. He figures it out that that's what's happening, and then just destroys the last Namekian besides Piccolo.
Yes, and that gets us into episode 84. And during that kill, God, it's just produced so well. Like the eerie silence. It's just, you know, you have this stop frame and zooming in on every character's reaction, following the ki blast. And then the music, I love this soundtrack so much. You have these drum flares, and it just feels like it's flashback music they use later in like Andrew's time. But it's a flashback, but you're living it. So there's something so surreal about how like it's like the PTSD is happening to Gohan right now. You can see it. It's the beginning of this feeling. The reason I love Namek, I think, it just feels like a nightmare. You're just constantly trapped. It goes on forever. He's just torturing and playing with you and whatever. And there's like no movement. And this is the beginning of that, where you're just at this battlefield that's never ending, slowly picking people off.
Yeah, and Frieza takes on 3 of them at once. Not even making a sweat, like he is just taking them on like they are nothing. They just have no power at this point. None of them have any power against him. Vegeta and Frieza are fine. He keeps saying he's a Super Saiyan. He's just not there.
And there is, I think this is the first time we hear the Vegeta power-up music, which is a different song.
Oh, nice.
And it is Vegeta's story. There's just so much resistance. Like even in this song, it's constantly, you get these like thrusts of powering up, and then it's all these false starts, right? He keeps saying he's a Super Saiyan, but then realizing he's not, getting a boost, coming back, saying it. And it's just an illusion. And Frieza's just dodging every single attack. I mean, there's nothing, you can't lay a glove on Frieza.
Yeah.
So, episode 85.
Here we go.
Frieza says to Vegeta, Super Saiyan was a myth, right? And so, just like he destroyed the dream of Planet Vegeta was destroyed by me, your father was a weakling or whatever. Now he's going to destroy the whole myth of the Saiyan, of the Saiyan species. And Vegeta's wrestling with it internally quite a bit in this episode, saying he's accepting the idea, and the anime even has an outline. Like he refuses when he's powering up. He has a yellow outline, and his ki blast is yellow. So maybe it's some artistic license.
I feel like I think that's the anime. I don't think it happens so much in the manga. I think in the anime they want a hint that he might be doing that.
And I love that. And it's like he has some like Saiyan dysmorphia where he keeps believing that he's this thing. He sees himself as this thing.
Yeah.
But then his strongest ki blast was just kicked away.
Yeah.
By Frieza. Everything was building to this moment. All the fights with Dodoria, Zarbon, every Ginyu, whatever. It gets to this moment. Frieza kicks it away, and Vegeta is just speechless. Yeah. And for the first time in the whole series, speechless and humiliated.
He can't see the past, but like his father had the same thing happen to him, and so did Bardock. Bardock throws the blast, and then boom! It just like it is nothing. That's Bardock's probably all of his energy.
And that realization, and he has tears. I think maybe the first tears in DBZ that aren't like in humor. It's not comedic value or anything. And it's clear that he realizes everything Frieza said was true. I think he was in denial about it. And he sees himself as a false prophet of the Saiyans, maybe, that he was supposed to be the Super Saiyan that defeated Frieza. He's not going to do that. And he resigns himself to that. And there's a beautiful overdub by King Kai. This is required because Vegeta's not even, usually we get in his head. Yeah. Even in Vegeta's head, he's not saying anything, right? Yeah. He's just speechless and stunned and paralyzed in the situation. So King Kai is explaining why. Mm-hmm. King Kai says that it's finally in his head that he's going to die. Basically, he's going to perish to Frieza. Got it. Frieza takes a snack break, eats a crab before grabbing Vegeta by the hair.
That was punching. That definitely is in the manga. Yeah, I would be very surprised if that's in the manga. That's too funny. Yeah, I like that though.
But Frieza's torturing Vegeta. I mean, absolutely. And,
he's mentally and physically.
And Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan are equally paralyzed, watching it,
they can't do
debating. Do they jump in? But they're just paralyzed by fear.
But it's okay, because Goku's healed.
And Goku's healed. Yeah. It took him 11 episodes, but allegedly he was in there less than an hour, according to the canon. So
Goku arrives the second he makes a dope entrance, one of his best entrances, where he just arrives, silent, Frieza's about to kill.
Unbelievable. I mean, this is in the middle of an execution.
Yeah.
He lands there, and it is. I think it's very different than the feeling of, again, with Saiyan Saga, with Ginyu, where he's too late in this case. Frieza's grinding the rock into Vegeta's exposed stomach.
Yeah, that's insane. It's a lot. We've seen this finger blast is like a deadly tool that basically it makes you incapable of fighting or kills you. Goku is just blasting them away, similar to how Vegeta did an attack that he thought would hurt Frieza. Does nothing. So now we're seeing that Goku, at least at this point, they're a little bit more evenly matched than the other people have been.
Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorite episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and I think this is when it becomes Dragon Ball Z. Everything before this, to me, is more similar to Dragon Ball. This glance that Frieza gives to Goku when Goku lands, and just there's no lighthearted mood anymore, right? This is like there's such a serious tone behind all of it, more than any of this stuff, and there's an uncertainty about whether or not Goku can do this. It's devolved into such a dark place in this battle, and you have Vegeta's blurry vision looking up at Goku after all of his dreams have been dashed. Everybody in his life has disappointed him, and he's disappointed himself. And now there's the Messiah of Goku being the Super Saiyan, and he has nothing else to do. He projects that onto Goku, just like Frieza kind of projects it on, with the Bardock thing. And Vegeta laughing about how a low-class warrior is the Super Saiyan, and this time Frieza reacts to it. Every other time Frieza goes, it's a myth, whatever. This time he almost believes it. And one of the best quotes, if there is a God, he must be good for letting me see this day, to see you beaten by a Saiyan. He doesn't care if he's the one defeating Frieza, as long as it's a Saiyan.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's this
good revenge. He wants good revenge, basically. But, unfortunately, when he's doing that, I have my notes, Frieza kills Vegeta as Vegeta's mocking him, basically. If he would have shut up, he might have lived to see more of the battle. Unfortunately, Vegeta likes to talk sometimes.
Yeah, and he says, his last words, don't be soft, there's no honor in this, your feelings will get you killed. This is Dragon Ball Z. Like, everything after this could be a different series. For the last 90 episodes, it's building up to this fight. Goku's whole origin story as a Saiyan, Vegeta's entrance, it's all playing into Frieza created this dynamic, right?
Without Frieza, we know Vegeta coming to... Raditz coming to the planet, no Vegeta coming to the planet, no need to come to Namek, all these things. Frieza... Whether or not they knew it, set all these things in motion.
So everything after this, it starts a new arc. It starts a completely new story. And this is Vegeta giving all that exposition to Goku, who really hasn't known it, other than these Saiyans they're bad people and they came for him or whatever. Now he's explaining that, we are who we are because of Frieza, right?
And he goes through the Saiyan's history and hopes to make Goku just awaken his true Super Saiyan instincts.
That we worked so hard for him. and he did whatever he wanted. He killed my father. All of this, he killed your father.
He killed everyone. He killed even the innocent people who didn't want to rebel against Vegeta. Like, they would have totally been on Frieza's team no matter what, because they were just saying, but it didn't matter. They were a threat, and so they could have had an offspring that at some point could have destroyed Frieza. So.
Yeah. And here's my analogy that I think Vegeta plays a Moses-esque role because, again, he was frightened of him as a kid. He became Frieza's like prince in a way instead of Prince of the Saiyans. And so this pharaonic whatever leader who is the dictator of the galaxy has a Saiyan princeling. And controls him by that, but secretly Vegeta has this sense for Saiyans and for one day overthrowing him. And similarly, the Pharaoh and Frieza, they're worried about a rebellion of the Saiyans. So what's different is Vegeta doesn't live up to that hype. Vegeta is not this prophet who delivers it. Vegeta barely sees it in the blurry vision on death's door. He sees it, and what I love that I'll admit it, I cried when I watched this episode, and I think I always do, because it's Vegeta telling Goku, it's like Vegeta getting a chance to get closure and saying to somebody, he never said this to anyone, he was always so proud of the Saiyan pride, he says that, I am who I am because of Frieza, and all of this, and Goku similarly eulogizes Vegeta, buries him
after he finally passes.
That he's got a heart of stone, can't shed tears like you did. Yeah. You were holding them back your whole life. This is like not pre-written stuff, but this is Goku wanting to pay tribute to Vegeta. He didn't really do this with anyone else in the series when people die in the middle of a battle, especially.
Yeah. Well,
he's not like
it's real that happens during the battle,
and he's not like wish him back with the Dragon Balls. This is like this guy is gone, and we need to take a moment. Yeah. That someone I didn't even know in a story I just learned. Yeah. To grieve him, and he says I respect you. And he asks for something from him. Mm-hmm. When Yamcha dies, he's not saying, teach me Wolfgang Fist. When Vegeta dies, he says, you had the will of a Saiyan, please share that with me now. Yeah. And thank you for saving my son's life. And there's a beautiful bond that I think it was what fascinates people about the Goku-Vegeta dynamic. Yeah. That's present right here from the moment Vegeta dies. And he thanks him for giving him the time to recuperate. And he recognizes Goku that he wouldn't be here and he wouldn't have this chance at Frieza if it wasn't for Vegeta. Yeah. That's the end of episode 86. What do you think? What would have been your eulogy for Vegeta?
I'm going to ask another question, which my question would just be, what was your favorite fight? Because it's on a different level. Besides the Goku Frieza fight, what was your favorite fight? Was it Piccolo versus Frieza? Like, what was your Vegeta versus Frieza? Like any of these fights that have come before, what was your favorite fight with Frieza so far? Let us know in the comments below.